I'm trying to find, because while we were talking about this, I remember that, and I don't know if you saw that, but Synergy released a similar amp. There it is. So this is, can you see that here? This is the Synergy, that's what it was called, Synergy SYN 20IR. Let's see if I can get a better image of this. No, that's Reddit. I think I saw, well, okay, let's stick with this image then. Doesn't matter. So this essentially goes into like the same kind of direction. So Synergy was involved in the development of the Friedman IRX, obviously, where you have this like amazing Friedman preamps in there, but you also have the digital back end, which has a power amp and a cabinet simulation, and you can geek with that thing right away. Then obviously they were also involved in the 20-watt Astro from Soldano, so the same kind of technology applies there, where you can go completely cabless.
Okay.
And you have 6 different IR slots and all that kind of stuff. So, and something that has been in the making for quite some time is they wanted to apply that same kind of back end, but then combine that with the modules, the module system, the modular system that they are sporting. So essentially, this new amp, and they only had like a prototype, like a workable prototype at the NAMM show, because apparently there's still a little bit of a way to go before they go full production. But essentially, you get a clean, like a high headroom, clean channel, kind of blackface as your first channel. And then with the slot, whatever slot you use is going to add another channel or another 2 channels on top of that. So imagine you have a 20-watt high headroom, but low power, and obviously like a very compact format. You have 6 IR slots, and you have MIDI capability, and then you can essentially use. And they have so many modules right now. They have everything from kind of tweet amp, Bassman, over to Vox, over to Morgan. They also have the Morgan version of a Vox. They have the, I think, 5150. They have the Mark II C+. They have the D. So there are so many modules. So essentially, this thing can be whatever amp you want it to be in that compact format.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy, and I'm so looking for. Let's see if we can find. Oh, yeah, there's an image of the back. So kind of similar to what the Astro 20 from Soldano has, where you have like, okay, you have the USB for connection to your computer to then work with the editor, and it's a simple, straightforward editor. Everybody can work with that. Even people who are like complete computer idiots could work with it. You have headphone and balanced output, MIDI in, effects loop, and then obviously a small selection of speaker outs. Man, I'm so interested in checking this out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it's. I think where maybe we should do a podcast episode on where we think guitar gear is going to go in the future, like in the next 10 years or so. I think with our predictions and stuff, it would be kind of neat to see, like, if we think outside the box where companies are going, but we're starting to get a glimpse of that, right? So the whole 2 notes thing is starting to get integrated into more gear. So we're seeing it with amplifiers, which is smart because that means you still get to play a tube amp, but you get the benefits of IRs without having to carry around like something like the Captor X or something like that, right? It's already built in. And if you want to use your own IRs, you can load them right in there. It's a small portable solution, which is great for just about any scenario that you can think of, but also just fantastic for home players. Because how many people complain that, they're using an amp and it's just too loud, and now they're going to have to downsize to a small practice amp. Well, this is essentially the size of a practice amp, but just like with all the superior technology you could think of. Yep. And I don't see this getting outdated too soon. You know, sometimes the problem with going with new technology is that something better comes out in 6 months, and now whatever you got, it gets depreciated in value. And I don't think that would be the case with something with an amplifier like this, because the amp itself, like if it gets the modular aspect to it where you can just change the preamps, you don't have to change your amp. Like if you don't like those modules anymore, you sell them, buy new ones, and this way you don't have to change amplifiers whenever you're into a new phase. You know, it's like, oh, right now I'm really into the Fender Deluxe Reverb, and then a year later you're really into the Jazz Chorus or whatever. This way you just buy the modules and put them in here, and you don't have to think about buying another amplifier, which, I mean, is really tempting for someone who's like really fed up of buying a shit ton of amplifiers, which would be me. Like, hey, I wonder if I'd be good with a 5150, so I have to go out and get the real one, and then I get over that, and now I'm on to something else, more Marshall or whatever. So for someone who can't make up their fucking minds, something like that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, 100%. Or think about the session or gigging musician that has that. Well, for one kind of job, he goes with a more mainstream kind of act, and he needs like a different type of amp. And then the other day he has a session, and it's, I don't know, it's like heavier stuff. And he just switches, changes the module, and he brings the modules with him, and then he like instantly in a very compact format. He has like, okay, what kind of basic guitar sound are you looking for? You want a Vox? Sure. You want a Tweed amp? Sure. You want a 5150? Here we go. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm going to bother these guys to send me one of those.
That's like, just send one out for a review, man. I just want to see if it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.